I want to show our viewers what happened during President Joe Biden's State of the Union address, where the large focus in the beginning was on the Russian invasion, and President Biden sending a very strong message that do not for a second think that the American people will not come to the aid of the Ukrainian people. While we may not send our army over there, President Biden committed to helping the Ukrainian government and people as much as possible.
He thought he could divide us at home, in this chamber, in this nation. He thought he could divide us in Europe as well. But Putin was wrong. We are ready. We are united, and that's what we did. We stayed united.
Amid a full-fledged war for Ukraine, US President Joe Biden summarized view of the West on Russia. In his maiden State of the Union address to a joint session of the Congress on Wednesday morning, Biden claimed Vladimir Putin now stands globally isolated.
Russia's Vladimir Putin sought to shake the very foundation of the free world, thinking he could make it bend to his menacing ways. But he badly miscalculated. He thought he could roll into Ukraine and the world would roll over. Instead, he met with a wall of strength he never anticipated or imagined.
As Putin refuses to relent, Biden hit back with a crippling ban on the Russian planes from its airspace. He vowed to choke Russia's access to technology and sap its economic and military strength.
I'm announcing that we will join our allies in closing off American airspace to all Russian flights, further isolating Russia and adding additional squeeze on their economy. Together, along with our allies, we are right now enforcing powerful economic sanctions. We're cutting off Russia's largest banks in the international financial system, preventing Russia's central bank from defending the Russian ruble, making Putin's $630 billion war fund worthless. We're choking Russia's access. A Russian dictator invading a foreign country has cost around the world. And I'm taking robust action to make sure the pain of our sanctions is targeted at the Russian economy and that we use every tool at our disposal to protect American businesses and consumers.
Biden, however, made sure to assert that the United States of America will not send its men to the war-ravaged country, but promised to protect every inch of the land of the allies.
Together with our allies, we're providing support to the Ukrainians in their fight for freedom. Military assistance, economic assistance, humanitarian assistance. We're giving more than $1 billion of direct assistance to Ukraine and will continue to aid the Ukrainian people as they defend their country and help ease their suffering.
Biden's punitive moves are sure to tighten the choke on Putin and reduce his elbow room. But will these statements by the US president be able to halt Putin as a formidable war machine that's been wreaking havoc in Ukraine for a week now? Bureau Report, India Today.
I want to go across live to Lviv at this time. Lviv is in western Ukraine. Ola Warzubit joins us, Deputy Editor-in-Chief at Taizden in Ukraine. Ola, welcome again to India Today. We've all been following your dispatches from Ukraine over the last several days. You're in Lviv at this moment. Can you first begin by describing to our viewers what's happening in western Ukraine? A lot of Indian students who are leaving Ukraine are actually coming out towards Lviv and then onwards towards Poland. So describe what's happening around Lviv, ma'am.
Well, in Lviv, there are lots of people who are coming and who try to leave Ukraine. So Lviv now are the gates towards the border. And of course, there are lots of people who are also staying in Lviv and also on the suburbs or in the oblast, so in the region, in the villages, who don't want to leave Ukraine. So they are staying in this region because it seems to be kind of a safe haven now. There are not only Indian students who are coming because there are also students from other countries in Ukraine who studied in Ukraine, and they are all of them are leaving Ukraine through Lviv, or mainly all of them are living through Lviv.
And, you know, a lot of people who are watching at this time would wonder why Is it that all the fighting is happening in cities like Kharkiv, in Mariupol, or even towards Kyiv? Why is it that the Russian army isn't targeting Western Ukraine in quite the same way? Now, part of it is to do with the language, the culture, but if you could just explain that to our viewers who are wondering, how is it much safer to be in Lviv than it is to be in a place like Mariupol or Kharkiv?
Well, frankly, when the war just started, so a week ago, we had explosions also in Ivano-Frankivsk, which is just like 120 kilometers from here. So this is also Western Ukraine. Also in the Lviv region, there were explosions. But to hit here with the rockets are like geographically more difficult, of course. And also, well, Western Ukraine, it contradicts.
I seem to have lost Ola. We'll get her back in just a moment. I want to show you what's happening with the sanctions that have been imposed, because Russia's invasion of Ukraine has come at a big cost to the Russian people. A slew of sanctions aimed at crippling the Russian economy have been announced by governments the world over. Even companies like Apple, Google have restricted access to their app stores in Russia. Passenger and cargo airlines have suspended services. Yachts, private jets and assets of Russian oligarchs are being seized.
We have proven our strength. We have proven that. At a minimum, we are exactly the same as you are. So do prove that you are with us. Do prove that you will not let us go.
While Russian artillery pounds and pulverizes targets in Ukraine, the West has let its dogs of war loose on the Russian economy. It's been 7 days since President Vladimir Putin's troops crossed the border into Ukraine. Since then, a slew of sanctions aimed at crippling the Russian economy have been announced.
The United States Department of Justice is assembling a dedicated task force to go after the crimes of the Russian oligarchs. We're joining with European allies to find and seize their yachts, their luxury apartments, their private jets. We're coming for you, ill-begotten gains.
The big sanctions against Russia include freezing assets linked to Putin, his top officials and their families. Even the Swiss have shed their historical neutrality to freeze the assets. Freezing of nearly $300 billion in Russian foreign exchange reserves held in Western nations. Cutting several Russian banks off from the secure global payments messaging system, SWIFT. Ban on transactions with Russian Central Bank and the Russian National Wealth Fund. Complete freeze on technology transfer to Russian companies. Halting of the certification of the strategic Nord Stream 2 gas pipeline by Germany. And airspace closure by Europe, US and Canada. The immediate impact on Russia has been brutal. Ruble tumbled 40% against the US dollar. Interest rates were hiked to 20% to contain the fallout.
A Russian dictator invading a foreign country has cost around the world. And I'm taking robust action to make sure the pain of our sanctions is targeted at the Russian economy.
The private has also joined in punishing Putin. BP and Shell have announced exit from their Russian joint ventures. Visa and MasterCard have blocked Russian financial institutions. Apple and Google have restricted access to their app stores in Russia. Passenger and cargo airlines have suspended services to Russia. Boeing has stopped servicing and providing spare parts for Russian airlines. World's 3 top shipping services, Maersk, CMA and MSC, have suspended deliveries to Russia. Facebook is demoting posts from Russian-owned media. FIFA and Formula One have suspended Russia for now. While the West may not be deploying foot soldiers against the Russian military columns in Ukraine, its boardroom machinations have opened a new front, changing the face of future wars forever. Bureau Report, Business Today TV.
I'm going to slip into a very quick break right now. When we come back, we'll have officers from the Army, Navy, Air Force with us here in the India Today War Room. We'd look at what's happening on the battlefield in Ukraine. We'd also look at what could happen next. We'll analyze all of what happened between the Ukrainian army and the Russian army on day 7, and we'll try and get a sense of where this battle could be heading next.